Welcome to the Divine Connection Podcast. I'm your host, Cristina, and together we are walking the path of discovering your true self and the alignment with your soul. Through these conversations, you will experience a deeper level of connection with yourself and the universe, and most importantly, you will trust in your spiritual journey ahead. Let's begin. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode, which is actually inspired by a question that was submitted by a listener. So I'm going to read the question to you, and then I'm going to share my answer. So they said, "Hi, Cristina. I would love to connect with my higher self and angels, but my upbringing has me afraid. Every time I feel like I am close to have a breakthrough, I pull away in fear that I might call in an energy I don't want. I'm looking for guidance in what I can do if this would happen." This is such a great question. And this is a common fear that people have when it comes to opening up to their spiritual connection and working with energy and all sorts of things like that. So I want to address this and give you some guidance with regards to, whatever level of, resonance that question has for you, whether there has been a little bit of fear in the back of your mind or if that's something that has really stopped you in the past. I want to address this today and support you in continuing to develop your spiritual connection. Okay. So, the very first thing to know is the power of your intention. And this is really important to understand when it comes to working with energy. It is all about your intention. And so, one of the things that I always teach and that I do every single day is that when I'm connecting and tuning into energy and calling on divine support, I am very specific in terms of calling in guidance that is for the highest good, guidance that is from divine light and divine love, and the guidance that is coming from these divine beings. So even when you are opening yourself up, because essentially when you are channeling and when you're connecting with the angels or your spirit guides, you're basically kind of like opening up the door to your energy, right? So that your energy is connecting to their energy. And so when you're opening up the door, essentially what you're saying through this process is that I am only connecting and I am only allowing in the beings of divine light and love and that are for my highest good to come in, right? And your intention is powerful. So that's something that I want you to also take in. And if you have doubts around that, then working through those doubts and really coming into a deep space of trust that if you are setting that specific intention to work only with energies of divine light and love and that are for the highest good, then that is what will be. So that is something important to understand with regards to this. Now, the second thing to also be aware of is your own vibrational energy and your vibrational level. And understanding that just naturally through your spiritual journey of healing, of growing, of awakening, all of that, your vibration is going to naturally rise. And it's also a result of working with divine beings of light and love, such as the archangels, right? So the more that we are connecting with them and tuning into them and just basically inviting them into our life, because the archangels are such high vibrational energies, having them around you consistently is going to influence your own energy, right? And this is the same thing, like you hear the saying of, you like the people who are around you, you kind of take on their energies and take on that type of same vibration. So if you have people around you that are inspiring and motivated and doing different things like that, then you also become that. And then the opposite is true. If you have people who are not who are just maybe feeling down all the time and fearful and just fear-based and all these things, and that's the energy that you take on as well. So that's the same thing with the divine energies. When we call in the angels, when we call in our spirit guides, knowing especially with the archangels that they are these high vibrational beings, and that when you work with them and you are consistent with connecting with their energy, it is going to positively influence your energy as well. as well as doing the work, of course, of healing, of raising your energy, raising your vibration, supporting yourself, supporting your energy and your growth is really important as well. But all of this is going to be something that is going to support you when it comes to connecting, and when it comes to doing this work and releasing that fear of calling in on unwanted energies. You are going to feel confident and supported with yourself, within yourself, that you are in at that specific vibrational level, that you're that's not even a possibility, right? Because the vibrations just don't match. The vibrational energies of the unwanted energies, they are much lower than yours and much lower than the beings that you are working with. Okay, so that's the other thing. And then the third thing that I have to say about this is to not underestimate your spiritual power. And now this is something that I have seen. Like, I've been doing this work for several years now, since 2017. And I have seen this over and over and over and over and over again. And it almost feels like a bit of a, I don't know, for lack of a better word, an initiation for people. And the reason why I say this is simply because it is meant to support you in your power. And I've been through this too, by the way. I've had this type of experience too, but that people will have some sort of an encounter with an unwanted energy or a lower vibrational being, simply for the purpose of supporting you and showing you your spiritual strength, right? I've mentored countless students through this type of process, and like I said, I've been through that as well, where I've seen that, like seen an energy like that come forward. And it's like, in that moment, having the tools, having the confidence, having the knowing that you hold the power, and that in that moment you get to say, no, you are not allowed here, and you send them away and they leave, right? And so that's something else to understand, is that if that were to happen, you have all of the power, you have all of the tools, you have all of the divine energy within you to send that away, and knowing that they don't get to have an influence on you, right? So that is practicing your spiritual power. And like I said, it almost feels like an initiation for all healers, light workers. Like I said, I've seen this countless times, because these are the types of people that I work with. I work with healers, I work with light workers, I work with people who are stepping into their purpose, especially those who are meant to be channels and energy healers and things like that. And this seems to be something that happens as a way of helping us to really be confident in our spiritual power. Okay, now here's a couple things, a couple tips for you in the case if it were to happen, what you can do to kind of assess the situation and immediately remove that energy from your energetic field and send them on their way. Okay, the first thing is that you want to ask for integrity level. So integrity level is something where it's basically almost like a scale or like a spectrum, where you can feel the zero integrity level or the incredibly high integrity level of a being. So asking for integrity level will support you in being able to discern whether this being is of divine light and love, if they are for the highest good. And a couple of ways to do this is simply, asking or tuning into that, like tuning into the energy and saying, what is the integrity level of this energy, right? And so the thing is that energy cannot lie. So when you tune into the energy to see the integrity level, you're going to be shown what it is. Okay. Another way that you can do this is by calling on a trusted guide or angel. So, for example, Archangel Michael would be a really popular one, or a really great one to call on. Or if you're familiar with your protector guides or your protector angels, right? Like your guardian angels, and you can call on them as well. It really doesn't matter that much who you call on, as long as you're calling on a trusted guide or angel who you've been working with, who you feel really connected to, and that you feel very held and supported by them. So whichever one that is for you, it doesn't have to be Archangel Michael, it could be Archangel Gabriel or Archangel Raphael or any of the other ones. or it could be one of your guardian angels or spirit guides. But the point is that you would call on your trusted guide. I'm just going to call them the trusted guide. And you're going to ask them to help you to know what the integrity level is of this other specific energy or being that is coming through. Okay. And then the other thing that you can do with your trusted guide is then, let's say you decide, nope, don't want this energy in my vicinity, not in my energy field. With your trusted guide, you can remove them and say, nope, not here, go. And your boundary, your energetic boundary that you create in that moment must be honored. And so that's just how energy works. So you put up that boundary, you put up that energetic, like, no, you're not allowed here, and just standing strong in your power, knowing like it's okay that I'm interacting with this being right now because I get to tell them to leave, and that's it. And they're gone, and that's the end of that story. So that's the thing. And if but if we hold ourselves in an energy of fear, and you're constantly like afraid that something's going to happen, and you're constantly feeling like I have to like shield and protect and do this and do that, and if I don't, then something bad is going to happen, then you're going to stay in that vibrational energy, and it's going to limit how much of the higher vibrational experiences in terms of connection with those beings, in terms of guidance that you receive, in terms of all of those things that you'll get to have, because you're holding yourself in a different vibrational energy. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's the thing to just be aware of, is that if you do hold a lot of like fear or hesitancy or just kind of like that weariness around that, then this is something that's really powerful to work on, to build your spiritual strength, build your spiritual power, and to know that you are powerful, and that in any kind of situation like that, you get to tell them to leave and be done with it. And that you are supported and you are protected, and you can call on the divine beings, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, whoever, your guardian angels, your spirit guides, whoever it is, and to know that they're going to support you, right? And then at the end of the day, that if that were to happen, it's not because you did something wrong, and it's not because you had a bad day. One of the things that I also just want to say real quick is that sometimes people have a fear that if they are in a bad mood or had a bad day, or are have fear around something, that's going to significantly lower their vibrational energy, and that's going to then attract these unwanted energies. And what I just want to say about that is that we're human, so we get to have those emotions. We get to have those experiences. That's part of our human experience. It's the overall energy and connection to your divine light and who you truly are that matters, right, when it comes to your vibrational energy. So you could have a total human moment and be incredibly afraid or disappointed or whatever, like have that experience. But at the same time, as long as you are like the overall, if you zoom out and look at the overall picture in terms of your consistency, in terms of your connection to your true self, to who you are, and you can see that that is consistent and that is there, that's all that really truly matters, right? Because again, we are meant to have these human experiences and human emotions. It's part of the thing. And so you're going to be okay. You're okay. You're okay to have those moments, and it's not going to affect you in such a way where your vibration all of a sudden is so low that you're going to attract these unwanted energies. That's not the case, okay? Because you hold your light. And as long as you're connected to your light, right, to your divine energy, then that's all that matters. And that you know that that's who you are, that's the source that you come from. That is the most important thing. When we become then disconnected from that source light, that source energy, and we veer off that path, and it's a consistent like over time, then okay, then we'll there's things that we need to talk about. But if overall you feel yourself in the knowing, in the truth that you're connected to that source energy, to that light, that that's the core of who you are, and that you are on this path of willingness to develop, to grow, to heal, to be love, then that is the most important thing. And we can allow the humanness to be in there, to be sprinkled in there, because it's inevitable. It's part of our process. Okay. So I just want to just point that out, that having a low vibrational experience does not mean that you're going to attract unwanted energies. Okay. But if you consistently have a fear of that happening, that is where I would start the work to release that and to shift that so that you can become strong and empowered by your spiritual truth, by your spiritual strength, and knowing that you're going to be okay, that you're strong, you're powerful, you're protected, you're supported no matter what. Okay. So that is the guidance in response to that question. So I would love to hear from you in the comments below. If you have any follow-up questions to this or sharing your experiences, if you've had a situation like that come up, let me know. I'm always looking for inspired questions or anything like that to answer on the podcast. So I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. As always, I am sending you so much love and angel blessings, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye. If you are someone who is seeking to be supported by the angels, to deepen your connection to the angels, to understand how to work with them in your everyday life, then I invite you to join me inside of my membership group called the Angels Guild, where we go deep in understanding how to connect with each of the archangels, understanding how they are here to support you, and to guide you on your journey of growth, of connection, of living in your highest potential, opening up to your gifts, living in your truth, and being empowered in who you are. Join me inside of the Angels Guild. All of the details to join the membership are in the show notes below.